And welcome aboard, folks, the Wednesday edition of the Steve Malzberg Show. Good to be back from our New York City studios. We have a big night ahead of us with the debates, of course, and we're going to have post-debate shows. You'll find out all about that in just a second. Joining us momentarily will be Fleischer to weigh in on what he expects to happen. It's been a very interesting lead-up to tonight's debate. Of course, as we speak, the lesser of the two debates going on at the Reagan Library with 4 candidates. And, of course, then the big event comes up in just a little while, and that's including 11. Carly Fiorina thrown in the mix this time. Of course, she was not there last time on the Fox debate. So that's going to set quite an interesting stage, literally and figuratively speaking, of course. And, you know, Donald Trump has maintained his lead, has increased his lead, enhanced his lead from the time of the first Fox debate. Ben Carson has zoomed. In some polls, he's quadrupled what he had going into the Fox debate. So it's the outsiders. It's Trump. It's Carson. It's Carly. And Joe Biden took the opportunity yesterday to trash Donald Trump, calling him a xenophobe and all that kind of stuff. We'll hear what he had to say then to Fleischer.
I want you to remember, notwithstanding the fact that there's one guy absolutely denigrating an entire group of people, appealing to the baser side of human nature, working on this notion of xenophobia in a way that hasn't occurred in a long time. This will pass. The Trump and that stuff you're hearing on the other team, and not just the other, this isn't about Democrat, Republican. It's about a sick message. This message has been tried on America many times before. We always, 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 always overcome it.
All right, joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, Fleischer, former White House spokesman for President George W. Bush and president of Fleischer Sports. Hello, Ari.
Hello, Steve.
All right, so there's a YouGov survey out today, and it shows that of the 1,000 people they talked to, 92% call illegal immigration a problem, 77% say it's serious, and 50% or more say that they want the people deported. So, you know, isn't Donald Trump resonating mainly because of what he has been saying about illegal immigration?
Well, I think that was what started it with his announcement speech, but then he's really made it about himself and his persona and what he can do. And that's really what's resonated. But let me go back to that Biden clip that you played, because if there's anybody who understands about communicating to people's baser nature, it's Joe. They want to put you all back in chains, Biden.
Very good. Very, very apropos. Oh, yeah, we got a whole bunch of examples of Joe Biden. But anyway, I don't want to waste too much time talking about him. But let's talk about what you expect from the debate tonight.
Well, I think you're really going to see the heat turned up in every direction because they have to. You know, what really happened to Scott Walker and Jeb Bush is they became second considerations on that stage. And what we really saw, we saw it with Tim Pawlenty 4 years ago, and we're seeing it now. If you don't fill the stage, the voters aren't in the mood to look at you. And so it's not enough to be substantive and have policies. You have to show passion and a willingness to fight for what you believe in, and that starts with what you do on the stage.
And so what would you advise? I mean, what do you know, it's a different kind of setting than the previous debate on Fox. It's a more intimate setting. People are very close to each other. It's not a large crowd. There's probably not going to be a lot of cheering, wild cheering. So what kind of challenge does that present for Donald Trump?
Well, the issue for Trump, and it's the opposite of the issue for the others, is his strength is that he's so loud. The question is, can he build bridges and coalitions? So for Trump, my advice is turn it down a notch or two and show some gravitas. My advice for the Walkers and the Bushes is turn it up a notch or 3. You're the opposite of Trump. You came across as too weak, in essence, in the way your mannerisms and the way you showed who you are and what you've got. So Trump should turn it down a notch. They need to turn it up several notches. And then there are the wild cards out there. Carly Fiorina, you've got to keep your eyes on her. I mean, she is going to be in an interesting position today to take on Trump and to establish herself. Carson, Kasich, Rubio, those are the others who I think you see some really interesting moves from.
Yeah. Now, of course, Carson is in a different stratosphere from the others that you mentioned along with him, and I know you weren't lumping them all together as being in the same situation, because he has, you know, in the latest national poll, CBS New York Times poll, has pulled, they say statistical dead heat. It could just as easily be an 8-point Trump lead as a dead heat, but nonetheless, he's on his heels.
Well, it takes more than one poll to make a trend, so let's see what else Carson has. But I do think Dr. Carson's in an enviable spot. He is an outsider who doesn't have that bravado that might turn people off against Trump. Whether he can maintain it is really an open issue. And he comes across as so low-key. I think he's in the camp. He's got to turn it up a little bit, too.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, from day one when he first talked about maybe running for president, I've always said, you know, I asked him, do you have the fire in your belly? Because he's so low-key. You know what he really has? He kind of has a bedside manner for what he did his whole professional life.
That's a good take. Yeah, I think there's a lot to that. The problem is bedside manners don't play well on stage.
I agree. Oh, I agree. But notwithstanding that fact, he has more than held his own, and he's continued to rise in poll after poll. Let's shift gears. You know, Hillary, and I put this out to you because I would love to see this. I would love to see Donald Trump say, because Hillary yesterday or the day before said, I can't wait to debate Donald Trump in a general election on women and, you know, respect us, don't treasure us or whatever. I wish Donald Trump today would say, I have an announcement to make. I want to debate Hillary Clinton and take her up on her offer, but I don't want to wait till the general election. Let's do it now. And let's make it some kind of pay-per-view where we could donate, or I'll donate, $5 million to the battered women all across the country. And let's debate now on women's issues. Do you think, I mean, if he were to do that, you think that'd be smart?
No.
Why not?
No, because it's presumptuous. It means Trump thinks he's the nominee, and that's disrespectful of the people who actually make that decision.
No, I wasn't meaning it that way. I was just saying, you know, why wait? Maybe, you know, maybe he could even say maybe it won't happen for whatever reason. But she wants to debate me. She's looking forward to it so much. Why don't we just have that debate now?
Because it's going to be seen only in the context of they're both candidates for president, and
right.
When you're a candidate for president, you presume that you're going to be debating the other party's nominee. You think you've already won before the voters have spoken.
I thought you and me could arrange the pay-per-view.
In the narrow way you're meaning it, I think it would be misinterpreted and backfire.
I thought you could get one of your big sports clients to be like the referee, and we could you know, get 2% of the profit, and we could clean up and retire. But now you shoot me down. All right, very quickly, Hillary. It just gets worse and worse. I mean, in the last month, and we've talked over the months about how poorly she's been doing. In the last month, she's dropped tremendously.
Yeah. The advantage Hillary has is that there's no viable alternative to her, really. Sanders is likely going to win Iowa and New Hampshire, as we've talked before, but then I think Hillary's got it. Unless she just starts losing poll after poll to Trump, to Walker, to Bush, to you name it, the Democrats won't panic. Yeah. They're going to just say all our eggs are in the Hillary basket, and that's the way it is, and get ready for one ugly fall election, because she can't make the election about her. She'll lose on those grounds.
Right.
She needs to make it about the flaws in the Republican, and that's why she's going to have to fight a very dirty campaign in order to be successful, which, as we know, Clintons don't mind doing.
All right, who wins the debate tonight?
Impossible to guess. I mean, this is why it's a great process. It's a real spontaneous test of who they are and what they've got. Right. And it unfolds before our eyes live. What could be better than that?
I'll tell you, just get the popcorn out and of course, then watch Newsmax post-debate coverage starting at 10 p.m. Eastern right here. Thank you, Ari. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Steve.
Appreciate it. All right, up next, the Malzberg panel. We'll talk about all of this and more. Don't go away. Remember, I'll be back at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight for a Newsmax TV post-debate special. We'll have former Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore, the only Republican presidential candidate not included in tonight's CNN debate. He'll weigh in, and a full analysis from our expert panel of Dick Morris, Joe Concha, and Rick Unger. Then, tonight at 11 p.m., Ed Berliner and J.D. Hayworth will take the helm and be joined by special guest Dr. Ben Carson, Michael Reagan, live from the debate, as well as John Zogby, John Bachman, and others, providing expert post-debate analysis only on Newsmax TV. Immediately following the debate, Newsmax will be conducting an instant poll, and we want you to weigh in, you Newsmax viewers, and tell us who you feel the winner was. All you need to do is sign up right now at newsmax.com/judge. This will enter you as a debate judge, and results will be shared live tonight on our broadcast. Sign up right now at newsmax.com/judge.